Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with Melissa. I'm your host, Melissa. Cheers. This morning, I want to talk about a little section from the Tiny Habits book by BJ Fogg that I've been reading. And again, I highly encourage you to go out and grab a copy. I'm not sure if it's on Kindle or not, but it's a really, really, really great book. So I know you're probably saying, Melissa, I don't have time to read. My schedule's so busy. I got kids, I got a husband, I got, a partner, whatever it is, whatever you have going on in your life. One thing that I started doing a long time ago to create the tiny habit of consistently reading every day, just about every day, which I've always been a reader. Growing up, I was always a reader as a kid. I loved reading fiction, nonfiction, anything, basically. And so I've always been in that habit. However, as an adult, it gets busy. You get you get married, you have a family, you have work. So nowadays, most people are not commuting to work. So you probably have a little bit more time than you think. However, I encourage you, set aside 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes a day. Sometimes I wake up and my husband and I have coffee together in bed, or we'll sit outside in the sun if it's nice out and talk. But then I always make sure I read for at least 5 minutes in the morning. And sometimes it's longer. Sometimes it's more like 15 or 20. Other times it's a little bit less than 5 minutes. Sometimes on the weekends I'm not as good at this habit. However, what I've experienced is just reading a little bit every day, educating yourself, on anything that you want to learn more about, anything that you want to implement in your life. And I'll talk more about this in a minute because it has to do with today's topic also, but really just making the time to do it in the morning, or you could listen to an audiobook in the morning while you're getting ready, while you're going for your walk in the morning, wherever you could find time to do that activity, get some reading in or listen to an audiobook. So I highly encourage you to do it. And just the little tiny baby steps, doing that a few minutes a day, before you know it, you'll be done with the book and on to the next and be like, oh, what can I read next? So anyways, I encourage you to do that every single day. Make time to read and educate yourself. That should be part of your self-care routine. Okay, with that being said, this morning's Monday morning coffee, I want to talk about getting the tools and resources you need to create your new habits to achieve your goals. So BJ Fogg talks a lot about this in his book, and there's a whole section on it. I said a little section earlier because in the gist of the book, there's a lot of information in it. It is kind of a small section, but there's kind of a theme throughout the whole book about getting the tools and resources that you need. So I want you to think about this. So we bought a cargo van about 8 months ago, and it was just empty when we bought it, and we're converting it into an adventure mobile, so like a camper van that we'll live in one day and travel around the country in. So in order to build out like the cabinets and the bed, what do we need? Surprise, surprise, we need tools. So we're very blessed that we're able to use, we have access to basically most of the tools that we need. There are some that we've had to purchase ourselves, which is great, which is what we expected. But if it weren't for the tools, we wouldn't be able to build the cabinet. You kind of need saws to cut wood, you need nails to hold it together, you need wood glue, you need staples. you need all these things. You need screws, you need nuts, you need bolts, you need washers, you need all these things to actually build it. And then we need resources. Some of it we know how to do ourselves. My husband used to be a cabinet maker 20 years ago. So he loves building stuff. But what he doesn't know, what we don't know, we're learning from YouTube. So we are going out and finding the resources that we need to build the van. We don't know electrical. So that's like the next big thing that we need to learn. Most things up until now have been basically we've just taught ourselves, but the electrical we're going to need to teach ourselves. But what did my husband do? He went online like a month ago and found a couple books for us. And he's, like I said, been watching YouTube videos like crazy about van builds, building batteries and all those things. So we are going out and finding the resources, okay? It's the exact same thing when you want to improve your health, when you want to create healthier lifestyle habits, when you want to minimize your anxiety, you don't want to feel depressed all the time, you want that mental clarity, you want more energy. Go out and find the tools and resources that you need to implement your new habits. So let's talk about a few examples. Cooking healthy meals. He talks about this too. BJ Fogg uses an example in the book. But one of the reasons why we started doing cooking videos over here and posting them to the YouTube channel is because I felt like it would be a great resource to help you guys, learn how to cook or enhance your cooking skills, whatever it is. And also that was some of the feedback that I've heard from current and past clients is cooking. My first health coaching and personal training client, he said, I don't know what to buy at the grocery store. So we did a grocery shopping trip. He reached out to me as a tool and a resource for him. So we got together, one of our coaching sessions, we went to the grocery store together and we walked around. We spent like an hour walking around the grocery store, and I just said, okay, we talked about reading labels. We talked about, shopping on the perimeter of the store and talked about all sorts of stuff. And then a while later, I was like, I'm going to teach some cooking classes at my house. I love cooking. And he's like, I'm there. Hands down, I am there. And then he had a family member who was like, I want to learn how to cook. Same thing, a bachelor. And he invited him. He came to one of my cooking classes. And then one of my other clients came to my cooking classes. And then before you knew it, I just kept getting requests for it. And I thought, this is what people need. This is what people want, because it's a great resource to help create a healthier lifestyle habits, cooking. So keep an eye out for those. Make sure you subscribe down below to our YouTube channel to make sure that you are aware of when those pop up. So, but if you're not on our email list, hop on over to the website, melissaking.net, and sign up, because we will notify you through newsletter and YouTube notifications when cooking videos are live. So I want you to make a list. So what would be a few things that would make your habit easier to cook? You creating a new habit of cooking healthy meals for you and your family. Simple, easy, quick. Tool I can think of in which I rave about, and you're probably tired of hearing about it, but I'm going to keep saying it, is the Instant Pot, because you could slow cook or pressure cook a big batch of chili, a big batch of soup, a whole chicken to have for multiple days. I'm working on a sweet and sour meatball recipe in the Instant Pot that you could just cook up a bunch of and just freeze it. So would a really good chef's knife make it easy, to like chop your veggies and make it more enjoyable? Because here's the thing, if you have a dull knife and it hurts your hand, or you're afraid that you're going to you're afraid that you're going to cut yourself, then get a good chef's knife. So you are looking forward to chopping those fresh veggies, chopping that fresh fruit, whatever it is. And then getting your family involved. This is a huge one. I had someone tell me a while back that they're delegating more to their family members, to their kids, to their husband. And they said it's making such a huge difference. And she's just like, okay, hey, you're going to do this and I need you to do that. And, not like doing it in a demanding way, but coming across as like, hey, let's do this together. Let's do this as a family. Let's all pitch in and help create this healthy lifestyle in our home. My husband and I do that. He cooks one night a week. I do most of the cooking, mostly because I love it and I love creating new recipes, but also I'm work from home and he works outside the home, so it just makes more sense for me to do a majority of the cooking. However, he gets so excited when he creates a new recipe. Oh my God, and he's been getting so creative in the kitchen that eventually he was like, yeah, I'll cook. He gets really excited about it now. So they may not be super on board at first, but eventually they'll probably hop on board. So getting a food chopper, that helps too. When you're making salads, like for multiple days, that's what we used. We used a food chopper and it worked out so great. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to just chop a bunch of onions, throw them in the containers, chop a bunch of pickles, throw them in the containers, chop a bunch of olives, you get the gist of it. So a few other things you could do in other areas is hire a health coach or a personal trainer to help you stay on track. Be your accountability partner. You guys, it's simple. It's a simple strategy to create new habits, but it's not always easy. And oftentimes it's so much easier to be working one-on-one or in a group setting with someone who knows what they're talking about, who has been in your shoes, who studies this. I geek out on this stuff. I'm always reading, always reading about, changing habits, implementing them into my life, experimenting with them, and then sharing them with my clients. Same thing with personal training. A friend of mine said her husband meets with a trainer twice a week for accountability. It just works very well for him. That gets him motivated to do his other workouts during the week as well. And so it could be anything, like anything. Just find a tool and or resource that will help motivate you, inspire you, and just help make things easier while you're making these changes. Okay, so here is what I want you to do. I want you to sit down and think about one habit you want to implement and make a list of all the tools and resources that you may need. And then start with one. Choose the one that's most important and that's easily accessible to you right now. So easily accessible and most important. Maybe the most important one may not be the easily accessible, so do one or the other. Just start there and then work your way down the list until you feel like you have this toolbox of tools and resources that you could just open it up, put your hand in, grab out the tool you need, and voila. So, okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos and I hope you enjoy our new cooking videos. I'm super excited about them. I've filmed a couple of them already that will be on in the next month or so, and they're fun. They're fun, so much fun for me. And also the recipes will be posted to our website as well, melissaking.net. Okay, enjoy your Monday, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.